tours are. But now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis's haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for clear skies tonight with a low of 3 below. Saturday sunny with a high near 17. And Sunday some light snow with a high around 29. Experience a gourmet dining destination at Cafe Latte. Their ever-changing menu of award-winning salad, sandwiches, and soups ensures you'll always find something to love. Because ingredients matter, Cafe Latte never uses artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. Visit them on Victoria and Grand. More at cafelatte.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakun.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on Ghostbox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday here on Ghostbox Radio, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for allowing us to ease into the weekend with you. I hope everything is going well. Meanwhile, in Eden Prairie, we have Adam out there. How are you doing tonight, Adam?
Oh, it's a heat wave. We're on the plus side of zero for once, and I swear the first time in almost 2 weeks.
You know what?
So nice.
You know what? I'm going to make a plea. Bruce Springsteen, if you are in town still, can you please call in to AM 950 and we can that didn't work too well at the 3 to 5 hour though, did it? So never mind.
No, it didn't. And honestly, I don't think he would have us on speed dial. I would love to think so. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely love to think that the boss had me on speed dial, but no. So it was worth a half-assed try, I suppose. But whatever, right? I have to admit, I'm disappointed to say that we're in Ghostbox Radio, Casual Friday, and we didn't have a ton of people applaud like last week. That was really cool. Yeah, this is 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks, you've had live studio audiences. Yeah. Tonight, you got your doll. I got my doll, and she's just making sure things are going well. Nothing weird happens. And the best part about the studio audience was that a studio audience turned up. I mean, that was amazing. So I mean, sure, okay. Well, and you locked every door as well. So, they were kind of a captive audience, but an audience nonetheless. Hey, they knew what they're walking into. Well, they didn't, but that's okay. Well, I did get I did get a couple email complaints asking for you entice them in with candy, yet there was no candy to be had. Just a show.
I can't afford candy.
Haha, y'all know where I work now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, now you can see, you know, or one of those stupid like a Clark bar or something like that, you know.
And just one to share amongst everyone that shows up.
Exactly. Yeah, or there's a lot of crappy candy that we can hand out to strangers and stuff. So yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah, I mean, it was fun out there. And the thing that was really exciting about this, and I talked with you a little bit about this, was I was set to interview everybody at Console Room, all the big names that came over from the UK, except Joe Martin, who played the fugitive doctor. And it just happened, and it wasn't super great circumstances that the person who's supposed to interview her had to drop out for the day. But they asked me to fill in, and that was an amazing experience. Talk about what I didn't know about Joe Martin is that she had written a lot of comedy. Her background is comedy. She worked with such entertainers as Lenny Henry, and so we really clicked, and that was a lot of fun. So that it turned, I didn't expect that, but here we are, and that was a great weekend. It's a really great weekend overall. So yeah.
That's awesome. You got that extra interview in, and like we were talking about earlier, the last Friday from Console Room, that was a sweet casual Friday. That was very good.
It was very good. And Sarah, who shared her pet story, was really something there. That was, I mean, it was a lot of great people, and some of them were wondering when the doors were going to be unlocked, but we had to make sure that the broadcast was over. And once it was, that's fine. So yeah, you got the Clark bar and left.
Yeah.
Or what's that? Bit o' honey. We gave him bit o' honey.
Oh, those were so gross.
I know, and they still make them. That's the thing.
Well, they still make candy corn too, and nobody eats that.
Yeah, what? I don't understand the purpose of it. And you're right. They still make it. No one eats it. I don't know. It's pretty gross. It was really bad. So yeah, no, that was good. So that, and those are really fun because there's people that came in who I know who are absolutely very, I'm going to be honest, anti-paranormal. Like they're, I say, I'm into the paranormal, and they kind of roll their eyes behind their head like they're melting. And but they showed up in the room as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of them, I think, were all about it. I mean, I did at the beginning, I kind of like raised my hand and said, who is into the paranormal here? We got some, and we got some who are just not. But the people who were not, they still came in to support what we were doing, and I thought that was really neat. So
that was cool too.
Let's see. Yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, now, when we do the cons like Twin Cities Con, Des Moines Con, and things like that, we always have the people who come up to the table who the first words out of their mouth is, "I don't believe in any of this," and then go on to tell you an amazing story. Does the same thing happen at Console Room?
So not the same, because people really only want to talk about Doctor Who there.
That is fair.
And I came up with a term for people who are a little too nerdy about it. The day of the live show, the day of the live show on that Friday, I interviewed Daphne Ashbrook, who's part of the Fox TV movie, and she said that I am the first American companion in Doctor Who, or first American who played a companion in Doctor Who. And then you got somebody who comes up, in the line to ask a question. He's like, "I don't have a question. I have more of a statement. You are actually the second person to play an American, being American in Doctor Who." And she's just like, "Oh, hold on. The last person was British and played American. I am an American." Just kind of at that kind of nerd sort of level. So the next day, I'm interviewing Joe Martin, and the guy comes up to the microphone again, and he's about to ask his question. I'm like, "Well, hold on, Joe, you just got to make sure you understand this guy is kind of a bit of a nerdy about it, so he's probably going to tear down something that you just said." And we're all laughing, and then I'm like, I ended up calling him Scarfy because he's wearing a Doctor Who scarf. And I call him Scarfy, and I'm like, you know what? I bet that is that's a great name for Doctor Who fans, or maybe a little bit too nerdy about stuff. Scarfies. I'm gonna call him Scarfy.
I'm
And
surprised you didn't call him comic book guy.
well, that's first of all, he's not like that. Let's put it that
Oh,
way.
okay.
But also a little maybe too on the nose, perhaps in some areas. Yeah, because I call him Scarfy because and he said his wife made the scarf, and Joe Martin, she's just like, because he starts getting a little nerdy, and she's like, security, get rid of Scarfy and his wife.
Yes. All of a sudden, I'm a Doctor Who fan. I haven't watched the damn show, but hearing about Joe Martin, I am a fan.
Oh, she was a riot. My God, she was a riot. But she didn't know. She kept forgetting what the term sonic screwdriver, which is one of the things that the doctor always uses. And she'd want to say, and she kept looking at me like, "What's it called again?" And I'm just like, "Sonic screwdriver." And I point to her and go, "Ladies and gentlemen, Doctor Who," because she really, really got that really well. Denise says hooies. Yeah, hooies could work too. Denise also says they still make chunky bars too. They're hard to find, but we have them in West Point, and they cannot leave West Point, is what I learned. Is that they will steal them from you, the inhabitants of West Point, Kentucky, and they will hide them. If you have a donut, just might as well give it to somebody in the house, right? It's your food is not yours, and that's all that you need to know about that. So yeah, it was the best donut.
Kentucky in general.
Kentucky in general, yeah. I don't know. So yeah, don't eat in West Point, Kentucky, or eat fast. Eat real fast, because the food is going to go pretty quickly. Now, I want to also bring up, we might circle back to this a little bit later. I was going to ask you, Adam, what did you think of Wednesday night show?
Wednesday night show was very, very cool. I enjoyed the Minnesota Iceman. It's one of those stories that I remember reading in the leather-bound Time Life magazines about the paranormal, about cryptids. So I was always kind of interested in the Minnesota Iceman, and Wednesday's episode, number one, smooth jazz voice, 100%.
Oh my God, yeah.
And also the fact that he's worked on 3 documentaries now.
Yeah. With
the Navajo one that we talked about really at length on Wednesday night. And I honestly am what's the best way to put it? I'm more 70-30 that the Iceman was a legit thing, and more 30% that it was just a straight up hoax at this point.
I might be right there with you. I went into it with just like, well, this is a hoax, and I'm going to kind of approach it that way so I don't get laughed away by this guy who's done all this research. And he's just like, no, I believe it's more likely real. And it's like, yeah, oh, okay, wow. Okay.
I honestly, I was 90% hoax, 10% chance that this actually happened. Now I'm completely 70-30 now. I really think it's very possible that the Iceman did take place, and that is legit.
So what I'm hoping to do, and this is not confirmed, but I mean, I did talk. Our guest was William Jevning, and if you have an opportunity to do so, please find the episode we did on the Minnesota Iceman on this last Wednesday on Spotify, because he is just really, really smart. But when the episode ended and you had to bounce, we were talking for another hour afterwards, and I had to let him go because he would have just kept going. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sort of way. He's just, and so obviously the next step here is I'm once I get it approved by the upper ups at the station, I think that will be our next Ghostbox radio after hours.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Just and really more about stories. And I'm hoping, and I really shouldn't be doing this on the air, but I'm kind of thinking aloud. I'm hoping I can maybe entice Robert Pilot to join us for at least some of it.
I think that would be fantastic.
I think so too.
Because I would love to hear some of Robert's stories about these cryptids too throughout his lineage and bloodline, because I know he's got some.
I mean, there has to be stories that have been passed down if he hasn't encountered something himself.
Very true.
So yeah, I think that's and so I mean nothing's set in stone. But William is totally on board with it. I already talked with him about that. I need to talk to Chad, talk to Robert. But if I can, I think that'd be great for like April or something like that. Do another 2-hour Ghostbox radio after hours, and really just have just sit and listen to this guy. And he has such a better voice than I do. Let's just get. I mean, he, like you said, he's smooth jazz. I'm like nails on a chalkboard, So it's just like you just talk, and Robert has a pretty darn good voice too. So you two just talk, and we'll just listen.
And during the entire interview, I'm sitting there like listening to him talk about not only when they went down to the Navajo nation, but also when he was talking about the origins of the Minnesota Iceman story. I'm sitting there and it's like, not to disparage any other guests, but we've had other cryptid folks on here that maybe did a little bit of research and then threw a bunch of stuff out there. He's going to these places, he's spending what was the last one, 13 days.
Yeah.
And it ended up turning into a TV show, and it was not even supposed to. This guy, William, is putting his love of this into it, and it shows. It's absolutely, and it was so much fun listening to him on Wednesday night, just wax poetically about cryptids.
Where we don't see eye to eye, and that's fine, and I think you'll know where I'm going with this. Is because I talked with him about it, and we've talked many times on the program about the whole thing being the interdimensional situation here, and he didn't say no, but you could see that's not part of their way of looking at it.
Yeah.
And and I'm fine with that. I think that there's all sorts of reasons that both can coexist, but and he did say, we have people that can kind of backlog what you've been through and kind of explain to you what really happened. And I wasn't a really big fan of that, to be perfectly honest, because I know what I know. And I know the people who somewhere in this chat right now, I know what we experienced. And so, and so the thing that is different here is that we look at what this life form is. We look at it very differently, the two of us. But I have no problem giving him an open stage for in a couple hours to talk about what his experiences have been, because I think they're extraordinarily fascinating, and it also includes his lifelong ability to be in the military, basically, and how all that kind of interweaves a little bit. So yeah, I think that'd be great.
I think it will be interesting. Hopefully we can get that as a 2-hour special. That would be fascinating.
I think we will. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we're going to have a guest join us, going to talk about something that's happening in the Twin Cities this coming week. And then anything on your mind, put it in the comments or give us a call, 952-946-6205. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. I've been talking for a while about how spooky, fun, and fascinating the Minneapolis trolley tours are, but now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then, climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis's haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Are you one of thousands of individuals who know you have psychic abilities but don't know how to tap into your higher self? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who offers classes that can help you reach your goals. Refined Divine holds classes Monday and Thursday at her 2 locations and via Zoom. Classes consist of manifestation, learning psychic abilities, shadow work, and healing trauma. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
This is Psychic Medium Deb. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakun here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com. Greg Bakun here. It's nice to get out of the Twin Cities and take some travel excursion to some great locations. Minnesota has so much to offer, which is why I love traveling down to Wabasha and staying at the historic Anderson House Hotel. Opened in 1856, this beautiful hotel offers comfortable accommodations, has a delicious restaurant, and even a speakeasy in the basement to unwind with a drink. Located next to the Mississippi River and on Main Street, there is a lot of sightseeing and shopping to do too. To get more information, go to the AndersonHouseHotel.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on Ghostbox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday here on Ghostbox Radio. Thank you for allowing us to ease into the weekend with you. And a couple dates that I want to make sure everybody is aware of is, first of all, February 4th is Ghost Stories and Beyond at Billy's in Anoka. This month, we're going to be talking about pets in the afterlife. So if you've had, if your hamster Fluffy somehow has come back to you after it's passed away, come on out. Let's talk about it. I have plenty of stories to share. I want to hear your story. And we want to hear other people's as well. I have a feeling it's going to be a rather emotional evening, but it's going to be a lot of fun. $10 to get in. And burgers at Billy's are half price on Wednesday. And then just over a week away from that is our next paranormal investigation over at Divine Lights in Anoka. That's going to take place Thursday, February 12th. We're already talking about February 12th. My goodness. It's going to be in the basement. Going to be a lot of fun. Every time we go, it gets more and more fun. We want to make sure that people have a chance to get there. I always get people who want to investigate with us. This is a great opportunity to do so. The way to get tickets, go over to Facebook, go to Charvinity on Facebook, click on events. It's going to be there. It'll direct you how to get tickets. Also, coming up on February 6th through 7th, is going to be the Dungeon Cocktail Experience in Minneapolis at the Phoenix Theater. And I have with me right now Jesse Tyler from there joining me tonight. Jesse, how are you?
Greg, hi. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing well.
Thank you very much for coming up, because it's coming up here pretty quickly. And I kept seeing ads for this on my Facebook stream, and it looks so interesting. What is this exactly?
Well, good. I'm glad it's interesting. Yeah, the Dungeon Cocktail Experience is a fully improvised theatrical D&D themed adventure. So with cocktails. So 3 themed cocktails. We basically improvise a D&D adventure from start to finish. We roll up characters in the first act, and then we go on an adventure and see what happens. Very interactive. The audience is very heavily involved. Some people love to be on stage, so they come and play characters for us. It's a great time.
I mean, and I can just imagine, and I know it's not exactly the same thing, but I mean, we have a very strong Renaissance festival following here. And so and these festivals, as you well know, are a lot of, improv, even though they're not really officially a part of anything to do with it. I can imagine that that's very popular for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I think is cool with what we're doing too, when you say Ren fairs or Renaissance festivals, our tavern, as we call it, as part of the show, all of the crew is in character full time. So you're always interacting with a fantasy character, whether it's helping you get your seat or, taking a cocktail or even finding the restroom. They're all fully in character 100% of the time.
And do people show up to these? Like, if we got people here who are listening who really want to take part, and I hope you do people like the general public, can they come in costume as well and everything?
Absolutely. I would say, maybe about half of our guests right now come in costume. We highly encourage cosplay, but also we have a number of people who have never played a role-playing game before. They've never even heard of Dungeons and Dragons, who show up and have a great time too. So it's come as you are. We absolutely encourage costumes and even playing a character, cosplay the whole time. Super fun when that happens.
That has to be surreal, especially for the people who are coming and they're not playing a character, and maybe they get a little confused of who actually is working this thing because everyone's playing a character around them. It seems like really a different world altogether when you get to these.
Yeah, I think so. And I've had a chance to talk with some people who have been first timers or maybe haven't had games, and consistently it's nice because people say a lot of good things. And I've been in the gaming space, Greg, since the 1980s, and I feel like gamers are the most welcoming, wonderful community. As you probably well know, I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, and Wisconsin and Minnesota kind of co-share the creation of Dungeons and Dragons. So very heavy gamer presence in both states, and very welcoming. And people who've never done it really feel that way, and that's what they've expressed to me.
That is really cool. I'm really excited about this. Now, how many people generally go take part in this when you do one of these?
Yeah, we right now we have a max capacity of 200 at Phoenix Theater. It's a little more intimate. It's going to be really fun, very close to the action and everything like that. Phoenix Theater, I think the max is 140. And so we are doing 5 shows across 2 days. Saturday 6:00 show is already sold out. And so, it's up to 140, 150, 200 people, depending on which venue we're at.
Do you get people return, like they'll go to like maybe 3 of them in each city, like just because they're really into this?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. So I started this last year, and we did it as a pilot in Madison and Milwaukee. And we did Madison a couple times, Milwaukee a couple times. And we've already got people. There's one gentleman. One of the things we offer is VIP tiers, and for each show, there's one diamond ticket, which is that person is the king or queen of the realm, and those sell out. And we have one gentleman in particular who has been the king at 3 of our shows and has come to others. It's a pretty common thing, and people are still just kind of finding out about us. So I'm really happy and humbled by that.
That is really cool, and I bet that is a great way to entice people to want to come out there, because to try different roles and maybe having that opportunity to be like a big deal or something. I mean, that's pretty cool. I certainly know, once again, I'm just using something that I'm aware of, like the Renaissance Festival, and you see like the King's Court, and they go through the grounds and stuff. And even though if I'm not working it, I'm kind of like, I'd like to be that,
Yeah, they have a lot of fun. And, people, again, as I said, a lot of guests come up on stage. We routinely have, every night's a little bit different because it's an improv show, but something that would be interesting to you and your listeners. Last weekend in Milwaukee, for instance, we just happened to have, and I'm not kidding, the story was our adventurers had to escape from a gladiator pit of cryptids. I'm not even lying. I'm not making that up. That really happened last weekend.
Oh, that's awesome. That is really cool. Did they all escape, or did the cryptids get any of them? No.
Yeah. Well, the short is, so we have 3 cast members. they were locked up as gladiators. Bigfoot helped them escape and then kind of let them out. But then the alarms were raised and all these cryptids started coming after them. Ultimately, they did escape and befriend Bigfoot, but we had all these cryptids like attacking them, and so they did make it. But it was a ton of fun.
So, this is just plain up fun is what this is. This is a great way for people just to get their mind off of things and just have fun. And actually, even if you're just not having a great life at the moment, you could not be yourself actually coming out to these as well. I mean, there's something about this that is just really, it's needed right now. I mean, that's the thing. You're
Yeah.
coming in at the right time, and I just think that it's how wonderful and how pure. I'm sorry, it's just very pure of a way to just let go and have fun and have a new experience. I really think that that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, and I think you're right. And I think it's funny. My mom used to read Reader's Digest. I remember this well, and her favorite thing, part of that was laughter is the best medicine. And I think about that now as an adult. It is. I mean, people just have a good time. We literally invite people to come into a different realm, into a fantasy realm at the beginning of the show, and just put everything aside that's going on in life and just be present in this fantasy realm for the next 90 minutes. And yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with it as a cast too.
Now, I do have to warn you all that my internet keeps cutting in and out. So in case you don't hear me right away, it's because I keep getting cut in and out. There's something going on in my house. Maybe it's the cryptids that they escaped from Milwaukee and they're over here now. But we're gonna give some tickets away, aren't we?
We are. We're going to give away 2 silver tickets to a Friday night show to your listeners. Yep, we're going to do that. So it should be a lot of fun. Like I said, there's 140-ish people. I don't know how many are necessarily going to be at that show, but it should be a really good time and a lot of fun.
Now, so we're going to give we're going to start promoting that we're giving away these 2 silver tickets to the dungeon cocktail experience. It's going to be Friday, February 6th over at the Minneapolis Phoenix Theater. But note that the actual shows, you can get shows February 6th and 7th. And you can go get tickets for that. But we're going to give away tickets during our one question reading with Refined Divine this coming Wednesday. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Now, Jesse, if people want tickets, what's the best way for them to go about it?
Yeah, you can just go to dungeoncocktailexperience.com/tickets. And we have all our stops there, tour stops, including Minneapolis. And just simple, just click there and it'll take you right to Fever. If you don't have the Fever app, you should get that because it's a super cool app, and that's where our ticket sales are going on now.
That is great. That is absolutely fantastic. And folks, if you sign up or if you go out there and you heard about it through us, could you let them know that you just heard about it through Ghostbox Radio or AM 950? Because we really want to show support for this and show Jesse that we are really enjoying it. We got folks in the comments who are just like, sounds like a fun time. Nancy says I need to go, and I hope that it's able to work out because we need more of this kind of stuff right now, I think.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I sure hope that people come and say hi to me. I'm the creator, but I'm also the host and dungeon master for most of the shows. And you wear a lot of hats, but one of my favorite things, honestly, is just going and seeing people in character and hearing, some people are really into their characters, and it's fun to meet those characters too. But then also just, again, as I said before, we have people who come in just plain street clothes, and it's one of my favorite things is just meeting people and hearing, their story. And gosh, they tell you all kinds of things about their characters in a Dungeons and Dragons adventure, or something that they loved as a kid. And I love hearing those things. So please come up and say hi.
Now, are you gonna, since you're in charge of the whole thing, do you have like a really incredible costume, or is it like flowing capes? Is it velvet? I mean, what's going on here? I need to know.
well, I will save the drama and the intrigue for when you come to the show. But what I can say is that we actually create two different worlds on stage at the same time, and so because it's improvised, we literally take audience suggestions for everything related to the characters. So when we start the show, the characters have a blank sheet of paper. They don't know anything about it, and the audience tells us what they want us to play. And so as a result of that, we have a variety of costuming in the back that is used, but we don't even know until literally after the characters have been rolled up exactly what's going to work for that particular character.
How fun. That is really fun, Jesse. I really think that that's great. You want to go to dungeoncocktailexperience.com. We'll make sure that Adam was kind enough to put the link into all of the chats of where we are streaming to right now. We'll make sure it's in the description for the show tonight. A little fun fact before we let you go, Jesse. I don't know if you know this, but Adam, who you talked to when you called in, he actually works in the dungeon right now. So it's just kind of funny how that works. It's some days it's also a bomb shelter, but it's more of a dungeon, I'd like to think.
I see, like a modern day dungeon.
Modern day dungeon, right?
Hipster dungeon. Yeah.
with no escape. With no escape.
No escape. Yeah.
Jesse, thank you so very much.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Greg. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it. I hope everything goes well for you. We're going to give away those tickets next week. We'll keep talking about it, get people excited for it. Thank you very much, Jesse.
Thanks, Greg.
All righty. We are going to take a break here. When we come back, we got some folks in the comments talking. Let's see what's on your mind. If there's something in particular you want to talk about, put it in the comments. We'll get to that. And, just finish up this week as we head into the weekend. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. I've been talking for a while about how spooky, fun, and fascinating the Minneapolis trolley tours are. But now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis's haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville. Greg Bakun here. It's nice to get out of the Twin Cities and take some travel excursion to some great locations. Minnesota has so much to offer, which is why I love traveling down to Wabasha and staying at the historic Anderson House Hotel. Opened in 1856, this beautiful hotel offers comfortable accommodations, has a delicious restaurant, and even a speakeasy in the basement to unwind with a drink. Located next to the Mississippi River and on Main Street, there is a lot of sightseeing and shopping to do too. To get more information, go to the AndersonHouseHotel.com. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on Ghostbox Radio.
And it is our final segment before we wrap up and get into the weekend. It is Casual Friday. Thank you very much for spending it with us as we ease into the weekend. Join me Monday on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakun. We are going to be having an interview with Dr. Paul Lee, who lives out in the UK. We're going to be talking about UK haunted hospitality. It's going to be a great conversation. Tuesday, we're going to see the return of Morgan Knudsen from her podcast, and she is going to be talking with us about guardian angels. Wednesday, one question readings with Refined Divine. Thursday, we're going to replay Moon Girl, Mistress of the Paranormal, talking about Chinese zodiac. And then, of course, as always, Casual Friday. So we're going to see you out there, huh, Adam, in role playing and costume.
That would be super fun, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think it would be a blast. I had a character when I was in high school, Adam the Alchemist. And I wouldn't, it'd be kind of cool to revive that. I mean, I haven't had that dusted off since 98, I think was the last time I played D&D. I think I could dust off Adam the Alchemist.
Now it's time for his triumphant return.
Oh, of course. And the sad thing is, that's also my Reddit handle. I went all the way back to when I was in high school for my Reddit handle.
That's funny. I mean, it does sound like a lot of fun. It sounds like a lot of fun for sure.
It's a blast. And I think you would be good at it. You do have a heck of an imagination, which is something you do need to have for that game. You are a tremendous storyteller, which is another aspect of that game that you need to have. I think you would be fantastic at it, to be honest with you.
Stop. You're insane.
I'm honestly surprised D&D wasn't in your bag of tricks from, you growing up, to be honest with you.
I only played it a couple times, and the one time there was like this thing where my powers was I could ask a mystic questions, and they would write back on the answer anything would want to know. And one of we were up against something we didn't know how to pass. We didn't know how to solve a puzzle, and we spent about 5-10 minutes trying to solve the puzzle. I'm like, why don't I just ask for the answer? And I wrote it down, gave it to the dungeon master. He sent it back to me, and I'm like, is this it? And it's like, yeah, you got through it. It's like no one had to solve anything. So yeah, it's funny. It's funny how that works. But I got folks, please. I mean, like I said, this is the time to just get away and pretend you're somebody else. The Dungeon Cocktail Experience. That's going to be once again this coming Friday and Saturday, February 6th and 7th in Minneapolis at the Phoenix Theater. Please go out and show your support. And we are going to give away 2 tickets on 2 silver tickets, a pair, this Wednesday on One Question Reading with Refined Divine. So that's going to be great. Also, before we came back from break, let's see here. Jeremy in the comments said regarding the Mavericks commercial, thanks for a commercial to make me hungry. Well, that's what they're meant. Inside baseball here, Jeremy, that's what these commercials are meant to do. They are kind of meant to make you hungry. So the only downside is that when the commercials air, Mavericks is closed. So because I don't know how many times we get people who are like, oh God, I would love to have one of those sandwiches now. You'll have to wait till tomorrow to go and get one. Actually,
they close at 8 p.m. So what you need to do is get there by 7:30. And then if you have a little warming deal in your oven, just kind of set it in the oven for a little while, in the little warmer. And then at 10 o'clock, you bust open your Mavericks.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'd be all over that. And I mean, you didn't get any of this, but over when we did Pride,
yeah, I know.
they have a version of the roast beef that is meant to be chilled, and it doesn't lose its wonderful medium rare, and that was heaven. That was heaven. You should have had some of that, but
would have loved to. Thanks, Philip.
You know how that goes. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, you guys got to get out to Mavericks. And I got from the station for my birthday. I got a $25 gift card for Mavericks, and it's like, yeah, I'll take care of that. Don't worry, that'll be used very quickly, very soon. So
And you
yeah.
didn't bring me a Philly with it. Thanks, buddy.
Now Nancy in the comments says, "Where else would I spend my Friday night? Adam is the bomb."
I'm telling you, I think that would be an absolute blast doing the Dungeons and Dragon cocktail. I'm honestly not kidding. If I didn't have to work on Friday nights, I would so do that.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we?
Yeah, unfortunately, but I might make it out that Saturday. I'm working during the day that Saturday, but I'm gonna try and make it out there that evening.
Right. Well, like I said, though, I mean, you do kind of work in a dungeon with unsavory characters that come in and out. So
as cold as it's been, I wish we had a fire-breathing dragon down here to help keep me warm. You know what? There is one thing I neglected to ask and should have. If I know that the Dungeon and Dragon cocktail thing is relatively new, but if he had seen an increase in D&D players since Stranger Things had begun.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a really good question.
And I didn't think about that till now, but it's like I kind of wonder if they've seen an increase in people buying D&D guides, buying 20-sided die ever since that program had begun, because that was a main theme throughout that 5 seasons.
And also, I mean, when you think of it this way, if there's people out there going like, "Oh, D&D, who does that anymore?" Well, look at it this way: each performance, each get together is at minimum sounds like 140, if not 200 people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're doing 5 in a weekend here. So
yeah, you're going to get 500, 6, close to 700 to 800 people coming out to those. Yeah. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
That is pretty good. Speaking of fire breathing, my fire breathing cat has just emerged. She is under my desk right now.
Puff has entered the chat.
Puff the fire breathing, not dragon though. That's she's just
live by the sea. And she frolicked in.
Lay in my face when I'm trying to sleep. Like, funny enough, where I breathe, and it's Linus used to try to trip you down the stairs. She just straight up doesn't even hide it. She's just trying to suffocate me.
Well, one was the silent killer, the other one's just gonna just do it right away. Linus was an assassin.
Well, Linus looked like he was smiling when he would do it. Honestly, I mean, it just had this look on his face, and it's just like, what is wrong with you? And she just like, will climb on top of you and just kind of sit, either like right on my neck, whereas like I can't breathe, like you gotta move, and she's just like, then she gets mad at me because I'd like to breathe, and was like, why do you all want to kill me? Well, don't answer. I don't need. I think I know. But
the sad thing is with Linus and the way you talked about him always trying to trip you down the steps, I could just see him almost as like a Bond villain with a smaller cat, stroking that smaller cat, being like, "I will get you one day, Bakun."
Truly, I mean, and then those were the horrible stairs. The top of those stairs, if he wasn't trying to trip me, he would attack me. I remember one day going, because I'd go to a gym for a walk, and before I left, I just going down the stairs, and he just jumps out and he just tears my leg open, just bleeding. And I'm like, what? I don't even know what that was for. It was like, there's no reason for that. But he just he has a history. He had a history of slicing and dicing, and that's his thing. And though I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't agree with taking out cat's claws. Puff doesn't have any, but I didn't make that decision. That's how she came to me. But I personally, I don't like doing that. So I wouldn't have taken him out even, regardless. So.
No, and didn't for the cat that I had growing up, or any of the cats that were around, because if they get outside, they need to protect themselves. Totally. That's why it's like, no, I ain't gonna declaw a kitty.
And he did such a good job of just slicing up my ex-wife when she came for a visit and wouldn't leave. Back in 2018, her and her mom showed up, and they're going to stay for a week. They stayed for nearly 2 months, and she comes over, and Linus she wasn't here when Linus joined the family, and that's a long story. When you're like, what do you mean she wasn't here? It's a long, ridiculous story. We won't get into it, but she came from wherever she was living. I don't even know where she was, and she loves cats, and she was in her pajamas, and she came up to Linus, and she's just like, I am going to get you, and kind of doing this sort of like monster kind of walk towards him, and I'm just like, don't do it. And she's just like, I'm going to get you, and I'm just like, Jolene, don't do it. And she scoops him up, and he is just like, I am going to slice you up right now in a way that you've never experienced before in your life. And he just cut her up right under her neck, just like, and I mean, she's just bleeding. She is just a absolute bloody mess. And as a good, I mean, we were technically still married, even though I hadn't seen her in 6 years at this point. Once again, long story. And so instead of being like, oh, are you okay? I start kind of like, I told you, and I'm like, leave my cat alone. It's like, because it's like we were done, so it wasn't like, and so she ended up coming back in 2023 to get her stuff out of my house. Once again, long story. And I'm like, do you still have, I mean, do you still have scars from when Linus did this to you? And she did. I mean, he scarred her. He scarred her. And I don't want anyone to get hurt. I know I'm making it sound like she deserved it. No one deserves it. But also, it's like, I warned you. I warned you not to do this to him. He has a temper, and he's fairly highly strung. So you got to be very careful with him. And she thought that she knew cats, and that was the day she learned she doesn't know cats. So,
two things. One, after that, we should have changed Linus's name to Tintin. Set her up like that for anyone who watched The Crow. Or number two, with actions like that, I'm going to send a nice little email over to Pope Leo and start the canonization process of Linus. Damn good cat.
Saint Linus. Saint Linus and Saint Michael. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, I mean, and I just think of it now because Linus, she dropped him actually, because she's just like, oh my God, she's like, suddenly she's like, a 911 victim, and she's like in shock, and Linus just looks at her and hisses and literally walks out of the room. Doesn't run out. He's not angry. He's just like, kiss my ass, and he walks out of the room. And that's at that point, Linus and I mean, he only been with me for about a year at that point. I was like, we good. We good.
Linus is definitely your ride or die from that moment on. It's like, yep,
it's good. He's good.
Hell yeah.
Though you'd always see it in his face. You always see kind of the change from let's have fun to it's time to kill you. And so you always, like, he'd do it when he'd just be on the bed with me, and that'd be like time for Linus to leave the bed, because you knew he's gonna jump, he's gonna pounce at you, and he normally went for the face. So you're just like, time to go. So yeah.
So it went to like Hulk smash all of a sudden. Like you went
literally,
like you when I'm angry.
Literally, just like, what is going? I mean, I put holy water on his head once, thinking this might settle this cat down, because he just, I mean, it was like on his little furry forehead, the sign of the cross was my thumb with holy water. Like, can this help you? Because you're possessed. You are something. And he just mellowed with age, mainly. Nicole, who I used to investigate with all the time, I was telling her about this, and she was the one that's like, have you thought about putting holy water on him? Like, I will now that you mentioned it, and I did, and that's how that happened, and maybe it eventually soaked into his brain. I don't know, but yeah.
And the thing that flashed in my mind was, from Gremlins, you get it wet, they multiply. The next day you got a second Linus there.
I wouldn't be surprised, actually. There probably is one still hanging around in here somewhere. I don't know. No, I just have Puff at my feet right now, and she's just like, super. She's super, protecting me over here. So You know?
Well, you are in her throne. So
I had to move her.
you can get up.
I had to move her twice today. I pre-recorded a show earlier today. I had to move her from this chair. And then when I came in here, she hadn't been in it all day. And then when I come in here to get ready to do our show tonight, there she is. And trying to move her, she whines. She is all sad. She gets all limp. You know, it's just like, it's like moving a sack of like sand or something. It's like, come on. And she does this like, I'm trying to move her. And it's like,
that sounds amazing.
She's just like, God almighty. And you know, now she's probably just waiting for me to leave here anyway. So
just to get back up in the chair.
Just to get back up there. And then when I go to bed, she'll come up and just like sit on my throat again. So yeah. Lots of good things to look forward to. Yeah,
I'm waiting for her to get home, and I'm sure my dog will be very angry that nobody's been home to let her downstairs and do her bedding, but she'll have to wait.
Nancy says, so you got a cat and turned out to be your ex. Oh, don't. No. No, I got a cat and it turned out to attack my ex. So that's what it really comes down to. So once again, folks, as we wrap up, once again, want to just kind of give a quick shout out to the Dungeon Cocktail Experience. Go to dungeoncocktailexperience.com, get tickets. They are doing their stuff on February 6th and 7th at the Minneapolis Phoenix Theater. Please come on out, get away for a while, right? That's what it's all about. Ghost Stories and Beyond returns February 4th at Billy's Bar in Anoka, and that starts at 6:30. Other than that, we're going to call it a night. Adam, as always, thank you very much. Really appreciate everything as always.
Thank you, sir.
And then we'll be back Monday with Dr. Paul Lee, UK Haunted Hospitalities. Everyone, have a great and safe weekend.
Your Need to Know News headquarters, the Tom Hartman Program.